What's going on, guys? FM Star here, back with another video. Today we're going to be resuming the Football Manager simulating series by simulating the next piece of news, major news that has emerged in the last few days. Ronald Koeman has moved from manager of Southampton to manager of Everton to replace Martinez after he was fired. So he had a good season with Southampton, went under the radar due to Leicester, so he's a good manager. Let's see how we can do at Everton. What I'm doing for this save is it's the beginning of the 2015 season, but it's got all of the January transfers in the database, so it is the most up-to-date Everton squad that you can have, and then Koeman will be able to make any transfers that he wants to. So without further ado, let's simulate ahead and see how Koeman does as a manager of Everton. Okay then, we're back. We have finished the first season. I'm looking at the league table and you can see that Everton finished in 8th place. If we compare that to their previous season of 11th, yeah, it's a bit of an improvement. Ronald Koeman is still there. Oh dear, I've just seen the result against Man United. That didn't go very well. So, let's just go back to the Premier League quickly. The other thing I noticed, Romelu Lukaku, joint top goal scorer with 20 goals with Harry Kane. Pretty good. Ronald Koeman's managed to get some good form out of him by the looks of it. 36 games, 20 goals in the league, 3 assists as well. That's pretty good. Pretty good for Romelu. But let's have a look at Everton in more detail. Let's have a look at their transfer history. Not much. They have sold Besic for £7 million to AC Milan, and then just a couple of people out on loan. Leon Osman, pretty much end of his career. Leandro Rodriguez out on loan. Correa in on loan. Zoet, the goalkeeper, for £3.1 million. Augustinsson and Gutierrez. Some signings I don't really know much about. To be fair though, Augustinsson doesn't look too bad for a fullback. He's got good pace. And Gutierrez, not too bad either. I think underrated signings there, and they've got them on the cheap as well. So let's have a look at their schedule and see how they did in the different competitions. Wasn't a good start to the season then. They lost the first 5 opening games. Oh dear. They lost 3-1 at home to West Brom as well. And 3-2 to Sunderland at home. That's not good. Okay, right, so let's get rid of all of that. And Premier League. So yeah, they had a pretty bad start. Then they got into a bit of an unbeaten streak for 6 games. And then a bit inconsistent. And then they had a really long unbeaten streak up to the Norwich game, sorry. Then a bit inconsistent again, win-loss, and then a sort of unbeaten streak at the end of the season to end up finishing in 8th place. Let's look at the FA Cup. Okay, that's quite unlucky. They got Man United. They got into a replay. They played at home. And then they lost 2-0 in the replay, which is a shame. But now, the last one. Oh, that's interesting. They got to the Capital One Cup final and they lost 2-1 to Man City. Fair play to them, that's pretty good. They got a nice cup run. Okay, so next we'll just have a look at the individual players in terms of goals. Okay, it's not really organised it very well. But we've got Lukaku, of course, on 20 league goals. Correa, in on loan, got 14 league goals. Other notable ones was Morales on 7. Apart from that, not really too much going on. Assists, let's have a look. Who got the most? Deulofeu on 8. Leighton Baines got 7. So did McCarthy. And Correa also got 6 assists. So Correa has done pretty well for them. But overall, it's been a kind of average season. If you look back at the recent history. Is it 8th place kind of fits in with where they were going? They slowly making their way up, and then 11th finished in a bad season, and now they're sort of on their way up again. But it seems like Ronald Koeman is still here. Let's simulate another season and see what happens. Okay, right, we have just finished the second season and no improvement. In fact, Everton have finished one place lower in 9th. Fun fact, Southampton, Koeman's old team, finished above them in 8th, Everton's position last season. So, Ronald Koeman is still there. He did lose to Southampton as well, 2-0 towards the end of the season. Let's have a look at transfers. And there is one notable one. Romelu Lukaku has gone back to Chelsea for £28 million. Yep, Everton's top goal scorer is no longer there. That's probably why they didn't do very well. The only other major transfer in terms of financial gains is Ramiro Funes Mori going out to Fiorentina, and Tim Howard has gone over to America. In terms of how they've reinvested, they've got Filip Djordjevic from Lazio, 29-year-old striker. Doesn't look too bad, he looks alright. Finishing could be better. So that was for £10.25 million. Kostas Fortounis from Olympiacos for £4.6 million. He is right mid, centre mid. Denis Praet, another midfielder, from Anderlecht for £3.3 million. We've got Nathaniel Chaloba on loan. Seferovic for £3.5 million. He is also another striker, so in selling Lukaku they've brought in 2 strikers to replace him. And they've got this man, Andre Green, youngster, from Aston Villa for £725,000. Not sure how I feel about those transfers. The strikers don't really seem to have replaced Lukaku. Let's just have a look at Djordjevic. When did he join? Did he join in summer or January? He joined in summer. And he has played 15 games as a starter, 17 games as a sub, and only scored 14 goals. Lukaku, when did he move? He also moved in summer, so I must assume that... Oh, he's injured as well. Seferovic must have played a few games. He has, yes. 22 starts, 11 goals. And now he's injured for 2 to 3 months. The transfers, they're not that good to me. They don't really stand out. But they've gone down since the last season, to say the least. The one thing I forgot to do last season is look at the past positions. Oh, let's just look at the season preview as well. They were expected to finish in 7th. Finished in 9th. Not very good, Everton. And they had a very, very poor start to the season. They were lucky to finish as high as they did. While I was watching it all be simmed, I did see flash up in the top right, insecure jobs Everton. That must be why. That's poor. That is really, really poor. They were lucky to finish as high as they did. Yeah, let's have a look at their schedule and see how they did in all competitions. Premier League, once again, not the greatest start to the league. A bit of a pattern showing there. Yeah, they went on a very bad losing streak. Bit of an unbeaten streak here. Then a 4-game win. Yeah, they never really got into some good form. It's just all kind of a couple of wins here and then all the losses. FA Cup, they got to the 5th round, knocked out in a replay by Reading. They did well to beat Tottenham 2-0 away from home in the 4th round, so to go and then lose to Reading. Okay, right, anyway, they did better than last season in the FA Cup. Capital One Cup last season, they got to the final and lost against Man City. I don't think they will have done that well because the Capital One's Cup beginning of the season and they weren't good at the beginning of the season. Okay, better than I expected, but they lost in the semi-final to Ronald Koeman's old team, Southampton. Well, overall, it's a pretty poor season from Everton's point. Well, let's have a look at the goal scorers and the assists again. Once again, it hasn't sorted itself properly, but we can see Djordjevic 14 league goals and Seferovic 11 league goals. Fortounis also did quite well, the new transfer, he's doing quite well. Tarasaj 7 goals and Yase 6 goals. I noticed he got quite a few goals last season as well. And also Augustinsson, so he's done quite well. In terms of assists, we have 8 assists for Deulofeu, he's got the top assists again. And then we've got 7 assists up here for Morales and for Prayet, and 6 for Leighton Baines. So it's not been a revelation signing of Ronald Koeman for Everton. I mean, I think if they kept Roberto Martinez on, they probably would have done a lot worse. I think Roberto Martinez was kind of losing his touch with the club, so I think getting rid of him and signing Koeman actually probably was the best thing to do. But let's see how accurate Football Manager is at predicting the future, and we'll see if Koeman can do any better than what we've just done here. If you enjoyed the video, then please don't forget to like the video down below and subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any more content. I'm going to make an effort to increase the amount of content I'm doing over the next few weeks or so. I'm going to be quite busy, but I'm going to try and get a few things out. I won't be continuing with the Portsmouth Road to Glory, based on the fact that it's quite a generic save. I mean, just taking a League 2 side to the Premier League. It's been done before, and I want to find something interesting and unique. I've got a couple of ideas, not sure how exactly they'd work, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll have to do them when I get more time. But once again, thank you very much for watching if you've gotten this far, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.